I just added that bag of topsoil to that bed. I already picked out all of the weeds because there were a lot of grass growing in there, so I picked out all of the weeds yesterday, and I didn't actually pick them up. I just threw them inside the aisle. On the outside, there's still some weeds on the inside, but this is where I'm going to be planting pole beans, and that's where I've planted pole beans for the last 2 years. And right now I'm just going to flatten out that bed. In about 5 days we have a temperature going down to 37 degrees, but all the way up to the next 2 weeks, which is like, or how many ever days, I think my calendar went up all the way until the 28th, and according to the Farmer's Almanac, our last frost is into the 27th. But in 5 days we have a temperature going down to 37 degrees. But I'm gonna try and go ahead and plant my bush beans and pole beans today. We'll see how far I get into that. Reason being is because we have a few days coming in the next, like tomorrow and then a couple days after that, with rain, and I want to get these planted. I have lots and lots of bush beans that just fell out the bag, and so they're a mix. I don't know what they are, but I'm going to be using those. One, because my seeds are really old and I have an abundance of them, so even if, you know, we do have a late frost, I still have enough seeds to replant and still be successful, probably 2, 3, even 4 times. That's how many bush bean seeds I have. But with me looking up to the calendar and not the lowest temperature being 37 degrees in about 5 days, I don't think my bush beans will have sprouted by then. And then after that, every other temperature's in the mid 40s and 50s. I'm definitely not suggesting you go out and plant your seeds earlier than you should, but for me, I'm going to go ahead and take the risk. 1, because I have an abundance of seeds, and 2, because I'm a risk taker. I did this last year. I planted out some tomatoes that I had an abundance of like 2 weeks early outside, and it actually froze on the last day that it was supposed to freeze, on April 2nd. So this is the big bag of bush bean seeds I have with all different varieties, but you can see all of those beans at the bottom. I forget which beans I think they are, but whatever they are, they all fell out of an open bag. They're mostly all that white one, and I had went through here and I can't tell you which one I believe it is at the top of my head. Oh, so momentum seeds, I think most of them are momentum seeds, and this is a bush bean. And because I say that is because these are white seeds, and mostly the ones at the bottom are white seeds. I also don't have any in this packet French fillet bush beans. I don't know what color they were, but because there are some brown ones at the bottom of this bag right here in this corner, but majority of them are white. So that's the beans I'm going to be using to plant this bed, just because they're already at the bottom and they're out of the package and I don't know what they are, and so I don't mind sacrificing those. And then I may, since those will all be the same variety, I was thinking I may have like a container or something to plant like my special bush beans, because I still see some ones that I definitely want to plant, like my purple bush bean or my royal purple pod bush bean, or my royal burgundy. I don't know if that's the same, but I have both of those packets. I have my dragon tongues bush bean. So what I'm going to do is take out all of my packs of bush bean seeds. Oh yeah, I have Tongues of Fire, which it has like a reddish tint to it. And my Royal Burgundy bush beans. So like all of these other beans, I'm going to take out the bottom of this bag. Oops. Oh wow. Okay. So I have beans in this bag as well. I don't know if these are beans that, I know there's a brown and white one in here, and I think that one it was called Cow. But all the ones that are just white or just plain brown, I'm gonna use all of this because I still have, I don't know why these are in here. I don't know if I saved these myself or what, but I'm going to be using this square foot gardening method, and with the square foot gardening method you can plant 9 beans per square foot. So that's what I'm going to be doing on this side of the trellis. On the opposite side of the trellis is where I'm going to plant pole beans, and we shall see. I'm not going to poke them down yet because I'm just going to get them planted, and then we'll come back and we'll plant them in. And I'm not looking at which color I'm planting because I'm just gonna, so majority of them were white, but the ones that were brown I'm gonna use as well. Okay, I'm gonna show you guys what I planted. I did plant this whole bed of the beans that were at the bottom of that bag, and you can see it's much less. It's only that corner now, except for instead of the whole bag. And then as far as pole beans, I planted the rest of this scarlet runner bean. It's all empty now. I planted this burpees stringless, and it also said it was a trellis bean. There's no more in there. I had purple potted pole bean, a couple of those, and I had some Cherokee black beans. I did have another package of this, but this is more like dried beans, and so I didn't want to plant a whole bunch of them, but I needed some more to go on that other trellis over there, so I planted this pack. I planted, and then I had maybe like 4 of this red noodle bean. Someone actually sent this to me in the mail. I have grown pole noodle beans the first year I gardened, and I thought they were okay. They weren't like the best or like the most awesome that I loved, but since I needed like 4 more beans, I just used these 4. So my pole beans are definitely a variety of different things, and then my bush beans are mostly all of the ones at the bottom. And as I was going through, I tried to just plant all the white ones because I know those were bush beans, and like the ones that were brown, I planted a few of them, but not very many, because I don't know if those are actual pole beans or bush beans because I don't know the variety. And then again, this, what is this, French bush bean? Like I could look up what color this was, but this was all empty. So hopefully maybe this was the white bean and all of this just fell out and that's what it was. The sun is starting to go down and it feels so much cooler out here, but we did get that whole bed planted with bush beans and pole beans. Like I said, I'm not watering that in because it's supposed to rain tomorrow and I want to move on to other projects, but I did see this and I wanted to show you. So these 2 plants right here, I had Bells of Ireland planted there 2 years ago, and then it resprouted last year, and now it looks like it's sprouting there again for 2 years in a row, which is awesome because I tried to plant like 20 to 40 Bells of Ireland seeds this year and none of them germinated. So to have those 2 replanting in the garden, even though that's the bed that I'm supposed to, I think, plant corn in maybe, I'm going to leave those there because I love Bells of Ireland. I think it's so pretty, and I have not been able to successfully grow it from seed 2 years in a row. Both times, the first year I think I got a couple to grow, and that's the same plant that keeps coming back. And then last year I don't even know if I planted any, and then this year again I tried to plant some and they again, didn't work. I'm up here at this what is this called? wood side raised bed, and this is where the plastic hat flew off. I did have my son pull out the weeds that were sprouted. They were like white, and because of the plastic that was on top of it, and so he just pulled those out. But I did bring the landscape fabric, because now that all of the weeds are gone, there are a little bit that's sprouting back, but I'm going to flatten out this bed and then put the landscape fabric on top of it, because this is going to be the bed that, well, all of these beds I want to plant flowers in. And although I don't have a great deal of flowers that I have started from seed that are making it, I do have some, and so I'm going to get this bed covered, covered with landscape fabric. My other beds are still covered by the black plastic, and I'm gonna leave those planted until it's time to plant those, well, when I'm ready to plant them, and just take them off one by one. Right now I'm just trying to flatten this soil so I can see where the weeds are at before I cover it with the landscape fabric. And I would hope that I get to burn the holes in here tonight as well, so that tomorrow I can just plant from seed, but we shall see how far I get. I am now at a place where I'm going to call it. I got this Elise landscaped. I didn't get to burn any holes in it, but I'm very tired. I feel myself moving very, very slow. But now that we have it landscaped in place and fitted, tomorrow I can burn holes in it, and I'm just gonna be planting my zinnia seeds, or my zinnias from seeds, into these holes, just because I didn't get good germination on my zinnia seeds inside of the hoop house, and though some have just sprouted, others are still not doing great. And so I went ahead and just picked up some cheap packs of zinnia seeds, and I'm just going to be using those to plant straight into these holes. I'm going to Google tonight how wide this bed was. I don't remember how wide or long this was, and then divide that. I'm going to be planting them 9 inches apart, and then I'll know if I have enough seeds to plant this whole thing. I'm exhausted, I'm tired, I'm happy to have that bed done. It looks great, covered, and to have those beans planted, and hopefully hopefully it rains tomorrow and rains in those beans. And whew, I don't think I'll have, I'm trying to think what's tomorrow. I don't know if I'll have much time tomorrow to do much garden work, but with this longer, like the more hour of daylight, it's definitely giving more time to be outside, because right now it's about, I think it's already after 7. I think it's about 7:30. Is it 7:30? I think it is 7:30, and it's still daylight outside, and I still feel like I have time to go inside and cook, and the daylight is still with us. So thank you guys for hanging out with us today while we did some rogue planting, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.